What up, motherfuckers? Scarface 913. Trademark. Fucking, just right here chilling, having a beer, you know, out here in Las Vegas and shit. But I want to touch off on the subject of growing up in the early 90's, right? I was born in 84. Early 90's were, I don't remember the 80's too much. I mean, I do, but not like the early 90's. Like, it was just crazy fucking, just crazy shit, you know? On the kid side, Nintendo, definitely. Tecmo Super Bowl, you know? I remember when my mom and my dad were together at that time. You know, remember coming home fucking. Oh, actually, no. We were at home, and my mom was like, "Go with me to the market real quick," which I thought was odd because she always went alone, you know. So go to the market, whatever. I come back and my dad's playing Nintendo and shit. This is like 1989, maybe December '89, something like that, you know. Okay, that was cool. Those are one of my, you know, my early memories where I was like, you know, that was tight, you know. And then after that, I don't remember too much, but the next memory that comes to mind was, I can't remember the year exactly, but I know for sure it was my dad's birthday. It was like, I don't even fucking remember his birthday. It was April something, right? But we were at the house, my tia Nellie's house over on Eno Street in La Puente. By the way, if you know, I grew up in La Puente. And my mom was actually, you know, the whole day she went and, you know, barbecued and went and bought all kinds of shit, you know what I mean? I went there, she was barbecuing. My dad was supposed to come home from work about 3 o'clock, you know, 3, 4 o'clock, something like that. And I remember my dad walking in, and he looked like a ghost. Like, he was just pale white, you know. And, you know, he came in, he was all in shock. He didn't know what to do. And he was like, hey, he's like, Lodgo's dead across the street. My mom was like, what? Yeah, Lodgo's, his body's right out in front of his mom's house right there. You know what I mean? He's dead, you know. And my mom ran out there. I ran out there, you know, and yeah, man. I mean, sure shit. He lived like across the street from my tia's house on Eno Street and one house over. And I mean, I don't know what happened. Honestly, I was a little kid. I'm not, you know, if you know me, I don't fucking say names. I don't mention none of that shit. I don't know when, where, who the fuck. It don't matter. I don't know that shit. It don't matter. It doesn't pertain to me. But whoever did him up, I mean, they did him up on a couple streets up, threw his body in the back of the truck, went to the mom's house, and just left his body, you know, right on the street, you know, right? His legs were halfway in the street, and half of his body was, you know, right there on the sidewalk. And one thing I do remember, I mean, his eyes were wide open. He had a bullet hole right dead center. I mean, it just, I don't know what happened, but there wasn't like no brain splatter in the back or nothing like that, so I can imagine it was a little caliber kind of zigzag in there. But yeah, I mean, his eyes were open. They killed him, you know. He was dead. And trip out, like I'm saying, okay, my dad's from Townsend, so these are all, you know, fools from Townsend, you know, growing up. And at his memorial that they were having at his sister's house, which lived right next door to his mom, they found the body. They're having the memorial there, and like I'm saying, I was a little kid, you know, I'm in the backyard chilling with the other kids, you know, running around and shit. And I thought what I heard were fireworks. I just heard brah, 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 you know, so I was like, oh shit, they're doing fireworks. So I'm running to the front yard. As I'm running to the front yard, my mom's running to the backyard, talking about, get down, they're shooting, get down, you know. And so yeah, I don't know who it was, but they came through and shot up the memorial too. And it just crazy shit, you know what I mean? My dad was from Townsend, My mom was from Barrio Puente. All my cousins are from Puente. Dial, Ballista, go on. I come from a big family, so yeah, they're all on that side. So it was kind of like I would, with my dad and his homies, I would go there and I knew all of them, you know what I mean? And I would go and, talk to them and shit. And then I'd go with my mom's family and they were all Puente. They were more younger in age, maybe like, 19, 18, something like that. But they were all banging Puente. And that's where I gravitated towards. I mean, I got a lot of my dad's homies that are like, oh, you're from Puente? You're from Hurley? Like, even worse, because Hurley's like, we don't fuck with them. It's all on the far east side. And I'm not talking about east side Puente. They got killers right there too, but that's none of my business. But yeah, Little Hill, that whole deal, they're right next to each other, But I mean, on the far east side, it's like we're surrounded by townsmen and east side dudes. Little Hill even, they even merge onto the little streets. They got out the projects and shit, but no disrespect, no gangbanging shit, you know what I mean? But I mean, all them hoods they're down. All them hoods got killers. They all put in work, So it wasn't no fucking easy fight. It wasn't no easy struggle. Like, constantly watching your back, killers. You know what I mean? My aunt used to live on Sunset and Amar. Now where the CVS is at, there was actually farmhouses right there. 2 houses and a barn in the back. Both my aunts lived in those houses. And I remember being, just young, going to the store, and my uncles were my cousins were telling me, hey, watch out for them fools from Bassett. They're rolling around this kind of car. They all got tattoos above their eyebrows. Those are the killers. Watch out for them, So I was always, since a little kid, like, just watching every fucking thing, just watching, So I kind of like, I grew up in the lifestyle. Like, my mom's fucking, she's known. She, crazy bitch. She's about 5 foot, 100 pounds, but I mean, that bitch be boxing with dudes and shit. She crazy. My mom, no disrespect, but I see my mom do more crazier shit than my dad. I think because my dad was like, I don't know, like, I know he put in his work too and shit, but when I, growing up, I just remember him working all the time, and, my mom was the one fucking being crazy and, doing crazy shit or whatever, but yeah, that was... My grandma Dora was alive. She used to always take us. Man, I went to Mexico so many times, but they were tripping on this shit. My grandpa and my grandma were getting divorced. Maybe it's like, let me see. My little brother passed away June 11th, 1990, and I believe that's the year they sold the house. So my mom, my grandma and grandpa, they're both deceased now. Rest in peace to both of them. But they had split up around that time, and my grandma Dora was fucking she was seeing this one dude in fucking Ensenada, a fucking paisa dude named fucking Agripin or some shit like that. We all call him Chumin, you know what I mean? He's a fucking weirdo motherfucker. But my grandma liked to dance. She grew up in East LA, man. Fuck, she was born in East LA, grew up in East LA. She knows story, she went to the fucking El Monte Legion, put it that way, you know what I mean? Like, she was there with all the big bands. She loved to dance, so she went and met this fucking what the fuck, she went and met this fucking Mexican dude from Ensenada, Agripin, and she fell in love with him because I guess she went to the bar and they had a live band and he was a drummer and he was fucking, so she got all smitten by him because she loved dancing, she loved instruments, like my grandpa played guitar, that was fucking awesome. I'll touch off on another subject later, but yeah, so they were doing their thing or whatever. And, man, she ended up fucking marrying him, bringing him over the border, and the dude went psycho, man. But he used to drink like, fuck, I never seen nobody drink like that. Except my Aunt Joyce. No disrespect to you, but you can fucking outdrink anybody that I know. And then again, I don't know, I grew up with a bunch of fucking potheads, you know what I mean? Everybody smoked bud and shit. This is like fucking, 90's, weed was fucking illegal, the cops take your shit away. Now it's like, it's cool. Like, you can smoke fucking whenever, you know, it's all good, you know. Not wherever. I mean, obviously, you're not driving in the streets or whatever, but, you know, you can blaze. If you get caught with weed, you know, nobody's going to say nothing. But, yeah, back to the 90s, though. My cousins, all of my cousins, Ballista, Dial, you know, they just did a ABC News special about Primo Frank from Dial. And I remember that. I remember they got shot. I remember all that shit. But, you know, they did it on Channel 7 News, because the thing is, he learned how to paint with his mouth, pretty much. He's a paraplegic. All he can move is his neck. So he gets his paintbrushes, makes sketches, and he does all kinds of shit. I mean, he's fucking bad. He's amazing. I can't say badass. Like, he's like beyond that. You know what I mean? He's fucking amazing. He gets down on what he does. Like, I can't draw for shit. I can use both my hands. I can use both my legs. I can't draw. I can't for shit, you know? But this dude is fucking amazing. But yeah, it was in the 90s. I remember he had got shot. I don't know the whole story, but I remember that night or that day, you know, when he got shot. And a couple hours later, I mean, in front of my grandma's house, there was 2 carloads of dudes, you know, like 8 fools strapped to the teeth. And they went hunting, you know. They went on their mission and shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna fucking bring names out or nothing like that, but, you know, they did what they did, you know, because my cousin had got shot, and, you know, they shot him in the head and the neck. So yeah, he was, you know, he wasn't supposed to make it, but he made it, and now he's a fucking amazing artist. But yeah, I just constant funerals. 1 year, I mean, I'm sorry, not 1 year, 1 week, we went to like 3 different fucking funerals. It was that bad. Yeah. Murders constantly. And then, okay, hang on. And then, like I'm saying, I don't mention no names. I don't fucking, you know, I don't get myself caught up in a wreck. It's none of my fucking business. But, you know, big time dudes. You know, there's a big time meeting in Almani at Lake, as a matter of fact, you know, as a kid. And I went. Well, I didn't go, but, you know, we took my cousins, and I was with my mom. We went in the car, and there was like, must have been about 300 to 500 dudes, as far as I remember, from all different sets. Everybody's representing, all fucking, you know. And like I'm saying, I didn't attend the meeting, but we took them back. And afterwards, I just remember on the way back, you know, my cousins were like, hey, you know, she has to calm down. No more drive-bys, no more, you know, has to calm down. You know, that was 92, I believe. I guess there was like a lot of meetings that took place. And like I'm saying, I don't, you know, I'm from Los Angeles County. I'm from Puente. That says it there. You know who I run with. You know what time it is if you're with the, you know, if you know. But yeah, that was pretty fucking chaotic. You know, I still have dreams about that shit. About, you know, my dad's homie being, you know, found in front of his house. You know, like, it's crazy. Or like on Sunset and Neymar, right on the corner right there. There was fucking, or my cousins lived at, you know, right there in La Puente. It's called shit fucking Devil Square. Because there was so many fucking accidents that happened within that vicinity. Like, wow, we see fucking crazy, I mean, bodies fucking strewn in the street, you know. And so I'm little. Death was normal, which is fucked up for a little kid. You should not have to, you know, experience that. But for me, I mean, death was pretty normal. I grew up seeing death. It was, you know, it was real fucking normal. But, you know, with all that, I'm cutting this off. I mean, you know, I don't YouTube or nothing like that. I don't know. I don't do this shit. But if you have any comments, I mean, drop below. Let me know what you think. If you're gonna drop some hateful shit, fuck you, but drop it anyways, because I'll get back at you. Don't even trip. You know what I mean? And for all that, I'm out. Peace.